Round 2. Let me try this again as I struggle with creative. Loading in. Flat creative world. No removing blocks. I just do not get how that works. I cannot understand how to do it. Too old. Let's put it that way. So what I've done is I've built a block that should be the correct dimensions. Which is in my creative world. I've got a few other creative builds over there that I've already done. Some of which are in the world. That one's in the world. The cube. Out for the aquarium design. Didn't build the trident in the end. On my nether build tunnel. The staircase. The trees. Some other creative builds there, but nothing major. So for this one, this is 131 by 131 by 121. Didn't have to airfill any blocks, thankfully. And that's the center point coming up. So I've got that set up. And then what I wanted to do, I don't think the middle is where I've put the entrance to where I want to build this. So this might be just on a skew. But it's just to get an idea of what I want. And need netherrack. So that's what I tend to build out of. That or dirt, I think most people do. So for when you do your staircase down from the beginning, it'll be like that. And I wish I had ways of doing this faster. Fortunately, I don't. Seven, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. I'm always curious whether people just know off by heart how the circles go, but I always generally tend to use plots. That way, 2 that way, 3 that way, 3 that way, 2, 3, 8. 2, 2. And it meets there, doesn't it? There we go. If I repeat that all the way around, make that the cylinder, take that down from top to bottom. It's kind of the central staircase. So entrance at the top from here, let's say that's where it is in the build for now, which it isn't, but it'll be there or thereabouts. It's probably more off to like this side. Take that all the way down from top to bottom, put a spiral staircase in round the outside. Then I've got to worry about each floor being 20 high. Need to mark those out and then work out what I'm doing for each section. So is it better just to do one section and then repeat it? Because each floor will be the same. Will it? It won't. I'll just move around the sections because I want a lot of glass in this build as usual. So down 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The other thing here is, obviously the staircase is going to continue down. Need a platform, a landing, or a way to get off the staircase. And that technically won't be there. It's just to show where the first floor would be. Because when you bring these down, don't drag and hold and bring down fast enough. That's great. Why not? That will go down past that all the way. Just fill this in. That's the best thing to do. An idea. Not like this either. You can't click and hold and go down. Creative is really bad. For being creative, it's not very creative, if you ask me. Don't like it when it won't do what I want it to do, but maybe I just don't know how to use it properly. It's my fault. It just seems rubbish. I'd like to know if anybody else has got any good video suggestions for how to use Creative, where somebody's done a tutorial, a good explanation. Minecraft, Bedrock, Creative mode. Just simple functions, just quick ways to do things. Fill, like build a cylinder. Phone go off in the middle of recording. Yeah, it's all good. Right, because literally all I want to do is fill in, like build a circle there, fill it down from there to there, from there down to the floor. Then fill in floor level, so a circle at this level that goes in there. I don't know how to do any of that. I'm sure there must be ways to do it. I don't know what they are. And then do I want to do... Yeah, I really don't like creative mode in this. I'm sure there's to do all of this. So this is what sort of like handcuffs you, like stops you being creative and actually designing what I want to design, because I'm struggling with a system that seems to be just dreadful, honest. Well, I'd actually have to drag all of those down to show where the staircase is. I don't know what the layout is up there. It's my personal pet peeve for creative, but I can see why I just don't use creative as often, because you spend like longer in creative trying to make it than I would if I'd just made it in survival. I can literally just go into my survival world, dig it out, get the blocks and start building, and just build what I want to build, and it would actually come out faster than if I'd have gone into creative. And then you've got the problem Bedrock of like, you can design all this, I can get the perfect layout of all of the sections and how it looks, but how do you put it into your survival world? Like, there's no schematic, there's no Litematica for this. I'd literally have to take pictures of it, what I've done previously with things like this, or just understand how I'm going to build it, and then go off and build it anyway without a schematic. Right, so I get no benefit of doing it in creative first, other than understanding sort of how I'm going to do it and maybe a visual that gives me an idea and a clue, but I'm doing double the work. I'm literally building it twice. It's not like I'm building it, taking the plan for it and going over to survival and making it. It just doesn't speed up that part of it. I don't get why we don't have that ability. Why can't I take a layout of what I build here and just overlay it in my survival world? that I can build it. Is that available? Can I do that? And if so, where do I get that? I don't mod and I don't have packs or anything, but I understand that if that was be available, I definitely think I'd use it, because it would make it more creative, more expressive. I'd build a lot more in creative mode and transfer it across, because you can test it out. I can use whatever blocks I want and see how it looks. I mean, if I build all this in my survival world and it looks rubbish, I've then got to take it all down again and rethink it. Everything I've built in survival, I've just kind of built. Okay? You can see here the selection of things that I've tested. It's not really a lot for 2 years. Okay, my honey farm set up, what the walls look like, some of the redstone, make sure it works. There's not really a whole lot there. Some gradients, the crane in the industrial area, like I say, the nether build, test of the tree to see that the red tree was looking okay. Why is it so difficult to use? Again, I feel like I know what I want to do. I know what I want to build. I've got the idea of the cylinder through the middle, the wraparound staircase, spiral staircase going down, 5 floors. Each floor is going to come out into a circle inside the square. So actually, thinking is, so from the middle there, this is the floor level. This would actually come out, and then I'd have to work out where the edge is, build a circle round. So this is a circular floor, and then I was looking to take out sections. So you come down the staircase. This is the floor out. I'll get back to designing instead of ranting. I'm just not happy using creative, I think. That's why I tend to avoid it as best I can. I stay away from it as much as possible. Not good, it's not. If it was a more user friendly, I think I'd use it more. That would benefit me. Sure, that would be a plus, but maybe I'll just switch to Java or something. So, and then what I was thinking is, so that's up to the edge there. This would be a circle, so I don't know, go away. It's a big circle because it's 131 by 131, so I'm sure I'd go to plots, work out how big this needed to be, and start making it as it comes in there, in there, in there. No, the 5 4 4 3 2 2 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, and then back the other way, whatever it is. So that's the right size to curve in. It's clearly not. I've just made that up. Then what I'd want to do is section that off into what I called pizza slices, which I'm sure makes sense, but maybe coming out from, so you walk out from the spiral stairs, go out 1 2 3 4 6 7, odd numbers always, so let's say 7 from there. Then this one, it's the floor, go away, come out like this. Does this make sense? 3 2 3 2 3, like that, all the way. Far enough, but I'm sure I'd work this into a much nicer looking pizza slice, you know, proper pizza slice, so that it marries up somewhere over here. Yeah, look, that's terrible. So it come in this way more. So that goes across to this part, connects here, and then that would be the floor. So if that, actually look at that, that's awful. When you go up and look at it, that is terrible. I appreciate that, it's not a good connection. But we'd get that to join up in a nice diagonal. And then the same this side. So you've got what I would still term a pizza slice. And that would be the wing for bookshelves. So obviously I'd lay this out better, it'd look better. I wouldn't let it just look this terrible. No, I don't know what the ratio is across to into across. Actually get it to go where it needs to go. I'm sure there's a golden ratio or something to actually make it look right. That phrase, and then yeah, connect this up so that it all looks better than it is. Again, this is, I suppose, why you test it to get the layout, the look. How's that looking? Like, that makes more sense. And then again, like a fill, if I could just fill that section in without having to actually go down and click each individual block in creative mode, like there's the paint fill tool, go down, click here, you know, the block I've selected, fill, bang, all of that's filled. That's what I'd like. Why can't you make that work? So each floor level, 4 sections or 8 sections? You either have 4 or 8 sections, because you can do that north, south, east and west. But then is it I don't know if there's space to do another section coming out in between, whether I'd leave a gap. I think maybe I'd leave a gap, because I'd want each floor level to be kind of see-through. So if you've got the pizza slice there, and then you've got one next to it over here, you know, a nice big gap in between, and that shows you, you can look through, see the sections below, see all the way to the floor. I want it to feel like it's a deep, dark library going down into the, like, the bowels. Then maybe like, well, I mean, it's going to be deep slate, dark bricks, black glass for the staircase. Already got a colour scheme of what I would like it to look like as well. But it's actually building everything that I need in. Like, this setup is going to take a lot. Like I say, I could do all this in survival mode. Creative gives you the idea, I guess, gives you the freedom to just switch blocks and bricks, but like, am I going to build up, you know, what did they say, 100,000 bookcases in here just to see that the effect looks good? Am I going to lay out all of these bricks just to show that this is the pizza slice that I'm thinking of? I'm forever going to call it a pizza slice now, aren't I? Okay. So on the side of the build, and obviously, like I say, I'll work out the correct circle goes in there. I'll work out a good size circle for the cylinder, the staircase that goes down, and then I'll do a design for the bookcase. It's the deep slate bricks, and again, it's all going to be built out of this. I'm going to be using like these mostly. Maybe some cracked bricks and a few different looks. Cobbled, normal, maybe included as well if we get a lot of thinking, right? something like this, something like this. 1, 2, 3, 5, something like this. And yes, I know it's a different set of stairs from that one to that one. This would go all the way to the back. But let's not worry about it for now. I don't know, because not bookcase. What's it called? What's the bookshelf? Really? Never actually paid enough attention to notice that that's called a bookshelf, not a bookcase. And then a level on the bottom. Yeah, and I think this is where the design comes into it, because I think like, the bottom level wouldn't be books. Have like brick or maybe wood. I do like using the warped planks in the builds because I think it looks good, but would you use oak, dark oak or spruce? It's always spruce, right? Warped. Curious. I think this is where it's good to try out because then you don't have to go and collect. You know, before I build however many bookcases, like if this was a bookcase and it's 20 high, and I can get one in there, some coming off the side here, going down this way. There's going to be like loads of these in here. The amount of warped wood I would need. This is where you test it and make sure it looks good. No, like this. And you put in the looms backwards for some empty shelves. These obviously would be edited out for new bookcases as well. And then do you vary it between the blocks? Oh, I didn't use the cracked, really. And this is what I mean by like a large library. Not functional, maybe it's more aesthetic. If you swap these out with books, where you can take the books out, you're never going to be able to reach in a survival world. You want the one that's up there in the middle. Good luck. Let me know how that goes for you. Yeah. So something like that. Now, would you set it back one? I think I would. If I'm going to build them 5 deep, maybe the books come back one and sit in and set. And again, things like this just to stop them from looking all just the same. And then it's a case of wood lights. Is there any way to get a light in behind? This is filled in, shine through. And again, I suppose I'd end up going for usual setup. I don't know if I like shelves for now. But you can always do this one. And then just do, I always use sea lanterns, don't I? some sea lanterns in behind, and then if you've got walls at the end, light on bedrock comes through the walls, so that would actually light up. It's all good and well until you get so many that the view from distance doesn't show you the wall but does show you the light. That's a problem. This is the basic idea that I think I'm going for. Large corridors of bookshelves. I'm going to do enchanting tables and stuff in the corners or around the outside. So obviously if you're going to do books and you're going to do enchanted books, all of my enchant room that's full of books I'll probably just double up on and get more. Enchant tables, enchanted area with books around it, the corners or at the back. There's just easy ideas to put in. It's so simple to do. It's clearing out the space and getting it underway. And I just think like glass frame, stairs going down. Maybe it's like green wooden stairs to tie in with that. Black glass around the outside, stop you from falling, or maybe no walls at all so you can see all the way down. Yeah, and then of the glass floor on the outside, green wood on the inside as an inlay, and then deep slate tiles for the floor. I mean, that seems like a good idea for the library build. Once I get it all cleared, so start getting it all in. So then it's a lot of repeat, because that one section is going to be repeated at least 4 times on that level, and then again underneath five times, 5 floors, so 4 more times repeated underneath. Maybe I could move the section round so that each section sticks out underneath the next section. So if those 4 are north, south, east and west, the section underneath, the next floor down, is northeast, south, west, north, west, whatever, in between, so that it actually shows where they're going to be. And then you can't see all the way down to the floor. If they're stacked on top of each other, you can see down the gap in between all the way from top to bottom. I think that's what I want. I think I want a section that shows a long way down, so you could actually like drop in and fly from top to bottom. Whereas if they, I don't know what the word is, if they don't intersect, they don't cover up the gap underneath, you'd actually have to fly down to the next floor, fly across, fly down, fly across, fly down, fly across, fly down. No, I don't want it that way. Definitely, so I guess they're stacking. And then you do that section repeated for the books. Again and again, across the back, across the sides, and coming down the middle on diagonals as well. And I suppose you've got to work out areas of interest, sort of a seating area, or a place where you take the books out and go over. Chanting area. Other bits and pieces to tie in the library, but I think that is the main bulk and the idea that I'm going for. Now it's just digging out the 2 million blocks that are in the way of my design. Okay, well, I think that shows an idea of what I'm planning. I hope that makes sense, and I hope I didn't rant too much about how much I dislike creative. I just wish it was more functional for me, but that's my problem. So that's an idea of what I'm going for, what I'll be building. Maybe I'll come back to this at some point as well and just do a bit more, just to show myself what it's going to look like. I think that's what I'm going to go for. So again, I hope that explains it in depth. If anyone has any creative videos for Bedrock they want to suggest, please do so. I'm always willing to watch someone else's video if it is helpful. Obviously I'm not the best at this, so thank you for watching, and I'm gonna end and go back to my world to dig out more blocks. Thank you, bye for now.